This video will teach you everything you need to know about incident reports. This form is used for a lot of different things within university housing: addressing code violations in the hall, keeping records of wellness checks and follow-up conversations with students, as well as reporting more serious facility concerns. RAs generally write incident reports, but RDs and coordinators often do too. When the report is filled out correctly, the RD of the building, the coordinator, the East Side or West Side Associate Director, Vicki Hawkins, and Tom Kane will all receive a copy of the report. The background information section is pretty important for several reasons. One, it provides us with the information we need for follow-up, and second, it controls who sees the incident report. The name, position, phone number, and email address parts are all pretty self-explanatory. Your physical address would be the building or room that you're an RA or RD in. For example, if you were an RA in Eggers, you would put Eggers in your room number. If you're an RD of Dotton, you would put RD Dotton apartment. The nature of this report drop-down is very important. The only two you will ever choose from will be FYI or Concerned Behavior Housing Initiated. FYI is used for building and facility concerns or things that we can't attach to a specific student. Concerned Behavior Housing Initiated is for anything else, alcohol or drug incidents, or anything attached to a specific student. If you're not sure which to pick, ask your RD or the RD on duty. Always leave the urgency of this report as normal, and the date and time of the incident is pretty self-explanatory. The location of the incident is also very important. It is where the incident occurred or where you learned of the incident. For example, if an alcohol incident happened in Frank, you would choose Frank Hall. However, if something happened off campus, such as a sexual assault, but they talked to you, their RA, you would put the building that you're an RA in or that they live in. If you're unsure, ask your RD or the RD on duty. The involved parties section is where you will put all of the information for all students who are involved in the incident. ASU Police, Night Stars, and RA information is not included in this section. It is very important that you include the correct banner ID and name for each student involved. Try to get as much of this information as possible, but if you can't, it can be retrieved later. The RD on duty can access banner IDs if the student doesn't know theirs. You will assign each student a role in the drop-down menu. Students who may have violated the code of conduct should be listed as either alleged student residential or alleged student off-campus if they live off-campus. The description narrative section is the most important part of the incident report form. Keep in mind this is the only information that the RD coordinator or Office of Student Conduct will have to go off of when meeting with the student. As a result, there are several guidelines to follow when you're writing this section. The first guideline is do not use first-person perspective. Use the third. This means that your report should read, RA Jessica Smith heard the clinking of bottles and sound of ping-pong balls coming from LLC room 413 while on rounds. RA Jessica Smith knocked on the door to address the residents. Not, I heard the clinking of bottles and sound of ping-pong balls coming from LLC room 413 while on rounds, so I knocked on the door to address the residents. Second, use as few pronouns as possible, he, she, they, etc., because it can get really confusing when you're reading it. Instead, use titles and names each time you need to refer to someone. So, RA Jessica Smith, Resident John Doe, Night Star Brian King, etc. Third, use the form to report facts, not opinions. Don't include what you think happened, only what you experienced or what was relayed to you. Fourth, complete this document within 2 hours of the incident's conclusion or by 8 a.m. the next day, whichever comes first. As a tip, you may want to write your narrative in a Word document and then paste it in case anything happens and the web page freezes. If you do this, make sure that you delete the file as soon as you're finished with it. Once you've completed the report, fill out the CAPTCHA and click Submit Report. You'll get a confirmation screen to let you know that your report went through.